Over Christmas, my daughter was sick. And when we went in to check on her at one point, she had all this stuff stacked up around the edge of her bed. And the thermometer had actually fallen between the wall and the bed, and we had to dig it out. And I thought, well, I can extend that edge around the top and the back of the bed by just putting a little shelf. So I decided to do a one-day build. And I grabbed this old, weathered, nasty, dirty piece of plywood, and I cut some 5-inch strips out of it. This had once been a shelf in my shop before I moved into it, and I tore it down a long time ago and just held on to the plywood. There's a bunch more where that came from. And I knew how dirty it was. It was going to make it a little more challenging to make it look nice, but I had some ideas. Now to cut it to length, I cut miters in it. It was going to go around the head and the back of the bed. And my old chop saw that doesn't slide wouldn't do the whole thing, so you just flip it over and line it up right, and you can finish that cut. Once they were cut to length, I just did kind of a general sanding on it to clean up the dirt and the scunginess. One of my favorite tools to use, especially if I'm in a hurry, when I need to fill imperfections in the wood, is Bondo. Mix the Bondo and the cream hardener, and mix it up into an even color, and it's ready to go, and it dries super fast. The darker the color, the faster it dries. Once the color's even, I just filled all the little holes and knots and crevices that were in this old nasty plywood. And after 15 minutes or so, it's completely hardened and ready to sand. Whoops.
Safety first.
Never was this going to be perfect, but it did fill the holes well, and I sanded them down, and it was decently smooth. The paint I was using was also old and kind of thick, and it was cold in the shop, but after 2 or 3 coats, looked halfway decent. I bought these little shelf brackets at the big box store, and I just attached them to the bed with 3/4 inch screws. I had to make sure that they weren't going to go all the way through that cheap IKEA MDF. And then put the shelves on and screwed them from the bottom to the brackets. And it's an extra 5 inches of shelf all the way around the back and the edge of her bed. Thanks for watching.